Welcome to Audit the Audit, where we sort out the who and what and the right and wrong of police interactions. This episode covers military installations, federal jurisdiction, and recreation permits, and is brought to us by Outdoors Weekly's channel. Be sure to check out the description below and give them the credit that they deserve. Before we dive into the interaction, I want to give a big thanks to the sponsor of this episode, Surfshark. Did you know that online services, like booking airline tickets and hotel rooms, charge you based on your location? This is known as price discrimination, and nearly every digital service takes advantage of their customers' location data to price their products. With a Surfshark subscription, you can hide your location information while browsing the internet and enjoy the security and anonymity of one of the most secure VPN tunnels on the market. One of the many perks of a Surfshark subscription is that it allows you to bypass region restrictions on popular platforms like YouTube and Netflix and view content that's not normally available in your country. Thanks to Surfshark, I can still watch my favorite episodes of The Office, even though it was removed from the US Netflix catalog. Right now, Surfshark is offering the ATA community an 83% discount with an additional 3 months completely free when you use code AUDIT. With 24-hour customer service and a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have absolutely nothing to lose. So click the link in the description to claim your exclusive offer now. Thanks again to Surfshark for sponsoring this episode. In a video posted on June 24th, 2022, self-identified treasure hunter and YouTuber Bryce Noctway and two of his friends decided to go magnet fishing from a bridge located in the Fort Stewart military installation in Hinesville, Georgia. The trio pulled many objects out of the water, including more than 86 test rockets, a tank tracer round, and multiple ammo belts. Due to the dangerous nature of the objects they found, Mr. Noctway and his friends called the bomb squad to request they be safely disposed of, and the bomb squad told them to call 911. After they called 911, several military police officers responded to the call and arrived at the bridge.
Good, man. Never had the military police before.
I got IDs for me.
Mine's in my car.
Can you grab them real quick?
All right. You need all of ours?
Yes, please.
All right.
These rockets were in that bag.
The majority of them were.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of them had fell out.
No. That's for sure.
That kind of creeped me out though with them test rockets being in that Delta Airlines bag.
Yeah, I don't like that. So let's fucking go ahead and back away from all the goodies.
Hey, man.
How you doing, sir?
Nothing much, man.
So you guys found some ammunition on stuff?
Yeah, it's up there.
A little more than ammunition. M73 practice rockets.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Like 86 of them.
Yeah, 86 of them.
Just laying on the side of the road?
No,
they were in the river.
They're in a duffel bag in the river.
Did it look like it's been there for a while?
Yeah, it's been there for a little bit.
I mean, you can't play with that crap.
Yeah.
Oh hell no.
If we were to take one of those and get caught with it, it's 10 years in prison.
I've never been in a call like this, so I gotta say
Yeah.
what I'm gonna have y'all do and fill out real quick. It's called an FI. It's just basic. You're not in trouble or anything. It's just basic information and everything, like name, social.
You're good.
All that good stuff.
This is probably the craziest thing we've ever found. I wonder how many officers we're gonna get out here today. There's another one.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, that's game order.
Is it?
All right.
Oh, dang. What's up, man?
How y'all doing?
Good.
Not too good, right?
Oh, we doing great, man.
No day in the office.
Here's the good news. The good news is you're not going to jail as far as I know so far.
Hey!
The bad news is y'all getting tickets, man.
We getting tickets?
Yeah, because anybody got Fort Stewart permits?
For
For
what?
doing anything, for leaving the highway.
To leave the highway?
Where'd you guys do this magnet fishing at?
Right there.
Right there on the bridge, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you get into the river down there, that's Fort Stewart, okay?
Game Warden Lieutenant Holman arrives on the scene and informs Mr. Noctway and his friends that they're going to receive tickets for magnet fishing on Fort Stewart property. Fort Stewart is a U.S. military installation, which the Department of Defense defines as a, quote, military base, camp, post, station, yard, center, home port facility for any ship or other activity under the jurisdiction of the Department of Defense, including lease space that is controlled by or primarily supports DoD's activities. According to its 2018 base structure report, the Department of Defense manages a global real property portfolio that consists of approximately 26.9 million acres, which includes over 585,000 facilities in 4,775 sites worldwide. The DoD owns and operates property in all 50 states, as well as 8 U.S. territories and 45 foreign countries. Fort Stewart is the largest Army installation east of the Mississippi River, covering 279,270 acres in 6 different counties. Fort Stewart also serves as an Army garrison Garrison, which is a community for soldiers and their families that provide many of the services that would be available in any small city. As of the date of this episode, the United States Army Installation Management Command, which is responsible for the day-to-day management of Army installations around the globe, identifies 72 different Army garrisons as currently operating in the United States. The April 2020 census reported that Fort Stewart had an estimated population of 8,821 people, and in total, Fort Stewart and the nearby Hunter Army Airfield serve about 22,310 soldiers, 42,957 family members, 4,500 civilians, and 19,000 retirees, as well as National Guard soldiers. We will discuss the legal implications of the fact that Mr. Noctway and his companions chose to magnet fish on Fort Stewart property later in this episode, but for now, it's important to remember that this interaction takes place on U.S. military property.
First off, you can't fish from the bridge. You can't
fishing.
hold up. You're magnet fishing, right? So
We're cleaning trash out of
here's what I'm saying. No, you're magnet fishing. So you can't magnet fish from a dam on Fort Stewart, okay? You got to have a permit to even be out here doing anything, okay? So, and then this is a closed area right here.
I didn't see any signs.
Then I got to put signs, man. You're on Army base. So
There
if
is
you
a
weren't
bridge up there
fishing
that
from the
says no
highway,
fishing.
there's no pond right here in the middle of the highway, right? So anyway,
We didn't do that one because it did say no fishing up there.
Here's what I'm gonna tell you. You all getting tickets, you can come to court and talk to a judge, okay? Let me get your driver's license. Everybody got
He's got
you
them.
got them all? Okay.
I thought the green zone was safe.
Okay, so let me just explain. So you're on public highway here, okay? Public highway is public highway. In order to do anything other than be on this public highway, which doesn't include anything else other than driving, you gotta have a permit, okay? A permit would be from range control to come out here and do whatever. The reason magnet fishing is not allowed is because of exactly what y'all got right there, okay? You pulling up tank rounds and all this different. You don't know what's gonna blow up and what's not gonna blow up, okay? So what's the reason for y'all doing that?
Cleaning up the water. I mean, that's not. It's,
Okay,
yeah.
well, this is the wrong place to be doing river cleanup. Pay the ticket. Or the other alternative would be to go to jail for you guys acquiring Army property. So I understand you called and all that, but okay, that's like robbing a bank and then calling the police or saying, hey, I just found 10 pounds of marijuana, okay? Y'all have been better off just leaving that down there.
Mr. Noctway and his friends explained that they called the Georgia Department of Natural Resources to ask if they could magnet fish from the bridge, and were told that it was legal to do so as long as they were in a so-called green zone. In response, Lieutenant Holman informs them that red zones and green zones are irrelevant because they're on Fort Stewart property. In general, the Department of Natural Resources has statewide statutory authority over the management and protection of Georgia's natural and cultural resources. However, because Fort Stewart is owned by the federal government, the DNR does not have authority over the garrison's property. On some military installations, the state and federal governments maintain what is known as concurrent legislative jurisdiction. As Army Regulation 405-20 explains, quote, "This term is applied in those instances wherein, in granting to the United States authority which would otherwise amount to exclusive legislative jurisdiction over an area, the state concerned has reserved to itself the right to exercise, concurrently with the United States, all of the same authority. However, Georgia granted the federal government exclusive legislative jurisdiction over Fort Stewart in Section 50-2-23 of the Georgia Code, which states that, quote, exclusive jurisdiction in and over any lands acquired by the United States is ceded to the United States for all purposes except service upon such lands of all civil and criminal process of the courts of this state. The state retains its civil and criminal jurisdiction over persons and citizens in the ceded territory, except as to any ceded territory owned by the United States and used by the Department of Defense. According to Army Regulation 405-20, exclusive legislative jurisdiction applies when, quote, the federal government possesses, by whatever method acquired, all of the authority of the state, and in which the state concerned has not reserved to itself the right to exercise any of the authority concurrently with the United States, except the right to serve civil or criminal process in the area relative to activities which occurred outside the area. The regulation also clarifies that, quote, only Congress has the authority to legislate for areas held under exclusive legislative jurisdiction, and the federal government has the responsibility for law enforcement. The state cannot enforce its laws and regulations in such areas, except as to the service of civil or criminal process. For this reason, the Georgia Office of the Attorney General issued an unofficial opinion in 1994 that concluded that, quote, because Fort Stewart remains in the exclusive jurisdiction of the federal government, and because there is no federal statute or other agreement on point, the state has not and cannot extend its jurisdiction jurisdiction over the military reservation. Therefore, while the Georgia Department of Natural Resources may have accurately explained its policy on where magnet fishing is allowed to Mr. Noxway and his friends, the DNR's regulations are not necessarily relevant on Fort Stewart property.
While you're writing your report, if you would, please put it in there. I know you say it's irrelevant, but I would like it in the report that there are bridges with no fishing signs.
Okay, it's not a report, it's a ticket. Okay, and I'm going to put who, what, why, when, where. Your opinion is, if you want to come to court, that's for you to say to a judge. Okay, it's not for me. It's not for you to dictate for me to write in a report. First off, I'm not writing a report. I'm saying I only write a report if you're under arrest. I'm not hostile at all.
I'm not debating anything. I'm just asking.
Oh, I thought you were debating.
Any particular reason why this dude's asking me the way he is? It's just weird.
I appreciate you guys like being on that shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, that's what we get for doing the right thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Is we should have known.
Literally.
I didn't even know that was like against the rules.
There's nothing posted.
I mean, that's literally why we didn't go to other bridges, because they have signs saying no fishing, you know, whatever.
And
This
we're
one
not
didn't have
fishing.
anything like that. Yeah, we're trying to do a good thing here, clean up the rivers, that sort of stuff. As soon as we found something, we're like, yeah, we got to report this immediately.
No, you guys did the right thing.
Hey, y'all civilians, come on back here. 3 tickets each. One of them's a $80 ticket. The other 2 are $130 each.
What are they for? Are you going to explain it when we're all together?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's on the ticket. That's all self-explanatory. No Fort Stewart permit's the one. Enter in a closed area. As soon as that magnetic went in the water, that's entering a closed area. And the other thing is magnet fishing is not allowed on Fort Stewart whatsoever by anybody. Need me. So for that reason.
Yeah, I do have one question.
Yeah.
If I know when you said if the magnet enters a closed zone, now is closed defined as what was red, is what he saw on the map?
That has nothing to do with anything. The Army closes areas down, and if you guys had a permit, like to hunt and fish out here or to do sporting things, you would know that that's a closed area.
Lieutenant Holman informs Mr. Noxway and his friends that they will each be receiving 3 tickets. 1 for not having a recreation permit, 1 for entering a closed area, and 1 for magnet fishing. It seems that all 3 of these tickets stem from violations of the Fort Stewart Hunter Army Airfield Hunting, Fishing, and Outdoor Recreational Use Standard Operating Procedures, or SOP. According to Section 3-5 of the SOP, quote, all recreational metal detecting is prohibited on Fort Stewart, including the use of an electronic metal detector and magnet fishing. Additionally, Section 1-6 requires that, quote, any person requesting permission to pursue recreational activities on this installation must obtain an installation outdoor recreation, hunting, fishing, or combo permit. Finally, Section 1-7 of the SOP explains that, quote, the possession of the appropriate permit grants the holder permission to pursue recreational activities on the installation. However, it does not guarantee or authorize access to all areas of the installation. The permit does not constitute a guarantee of access on any or all days, because all or parts of the installation may be closed for training, safety, management activities, or security reasons, or all available hunting or fishing areas may be filled at the time access is requested. As we discussed earlier in this episode, because the federal government has exclusive legislative jurisdiction over the installation, Georgia law is not necessarily relevant. However, Section 1-4 of the SOP states that, quote, hunting, fishing, and other outdoor recreation within this installation will be in accordance with applicable federal and state laws, this SOP, and the Integrated Natural Resources Management Plan. In the event of a conflict between Georgia laws and this SOP will prevail. The same section also explains that, quote, this SOP, as well as federal and Georgia hunting, fishing, and trapping laws, will be enforced by federal and deputy federal law enforcement officers, and clarifies that, quote, this SOP is punitive in nature. Military violators of these provisions may be prosecuted under the Uniform Code of Military Justice or may be subject to administrative action. Civilian violators may be subject to administrative action, may be barred from the installation, or prosecuted under federal law or Georgia law in U.S. federal court. Based on the terms of the SOP, it appears that Mr. Noxway and his friends had violated several restrictions by magnet fishing in a closed area without a permit, and that Lieutenant Holman was well within his authority to issue them citations for these infractions.
There's no way that I'm going to not come out here and not write a ticket. It doesn't matter if you're the damn mayor of Hinesville, you're getting a ticket.
When is the court date?
9 September 22 at 9 a.m. Federal District Courthouse, North Main Street, Statesboro, Georgia, okay? I'm going to have on the back of the tickets, y'all were cooperative, because obviously y'all called, okay? So y'all were cooperative, polite, all that good stuff, no attitudes, all that. That does help you out if you come to court, okay? Don't come to court with any kind of attitude, arguing with the judge, because that just gets you a higher price to pay, okay?
Never do that.
No, I don't. You guys are decent people, man. office made a mistake. But I just need you to sign this where it says defendant's signature. It's not an admission of guilt. It just means you acknowledge the fact you either got to pay the ticket or come to court. Okay?
After Lieutenant Holman issued 3 tickets to each of the magnet fishers, he informed them that they were free to leave. Mr. Knoxway and his friends left the scene without further incident, and they all have federal court dates scheduled in Georgia on September 9th, 2022. Overall, Lieutenant Holman gets a B- because although he was within his authority to issue tickets to Mr. Knoxway and his friends, he maintained a hostile and negative attitude throughout the encounter and refused to exercise his discretion as a law enforcement officer when a warning may have been a more appropriate course of action than issuing citations. It is clear from the beginning of the interaction that the magnet fishing trio did not intend to break the law, and even made a good faith effort to confirm that their actions were legal before beginning to magnet fish from the bridge. Although the information they received was incorrect, Lieutenant Holman expressed no interest in understanding the magnet fishers' perspective or their intentions. At one point in the encounter, Lieutenant Holman even went so far as to say that if he's called out to a location, he's always going to write a ticket. This mindset not only demonstrates a complete lack of empathy, but also serves to perpetuate the negative opinions of law enforcement often held by the general public, even among law-abiding citizens. Had Lieutenant Holman chosen to exercise his discretion by issuing a warning instead of citations, or even writing each magnet fisher a single ticket instead of 3, the situation would have been much more positive for everyone while still achieving the goal of informing Mr. Knoxway and his friends that their conduct was dangerous and illegal. Mr. Knoxway and his fellow magnet fishers get an A-, because although they did illegally engage in magnet fishing on Fort Stewart property, they remained polite and respectful throughout the encounter, diligently reported the dangerous items that they found in order to ensure they were disposed of properly, and made a good faith effort to determine if they could legally magnet fish from the bridge. While they ultimately contacted the wrong authority for information about where magnet fishing is legal, it is perfectly understandable that these young men were not well versed in the complex and confusing system of laws about federal jurisdiction on Army installations, and their reliance on the Georgia Department of Natural Resources guidance was completely reasonable under the circumstances. I commend Mr. Knoxway and his friends for contacting the authorities to ensure that the items they found were safely removed, and it is unfortunate that they were punished for making this responsible decision. However, I hope that the magnet fishers learn from this experience and avoid military installations on future adventures unless they've cleared their activities with the appropriate federal authorities. Let us know if there is an interaction or legal topic you would like us to discuss in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out my second channel for even more police interaction content.